Hi everybody and welcome to lesson 3 with me, Dr. Chris. I hope you're well. So in our past two lessons, we've been looking at playing a festive favourite, of course, Jingle Bells, and we started off with the right hand. We've also done some left hand and we've put a bit together. And I thought what we do today is do some new music, yes, but to begin with, we're going to recap Jingle Bells one final time. Now, don't worry if you haven't managed to learn the whole piece yet. Maybe you've done a little bit, maybe you've done it with just one hand. It doesn't really matter. Now is a great time to listen to it once again and practice and play what you can. And don't forget, the great thing about these lessons is that once the live show is finished, you can rewind it and play it again. So, if your piano and your keyboard is switched on, let's get to work. So, in our left hand, we need a fifth finger on C, and we need a thumb on G. And in the right hand, we need a third finger on E. Okay, that's how we're going to be beginning. And in terms of how fast we're going to play the music, we're going to take it in a fairly relaxed way. So that sort of tempo, okay? All right. So I'm going to count you in, and then let's have a go. 1, 2, ready, play. And there we are, that's how it goes. So there's the whole piece, and congratulations if you've managed to do most of it. If you're still working on it, you may well have found that there's maybe 2 or 3 bars, a small section of the music that you just maybe can't quite get just yet. So what I thought I'd do, if that's the case, is to give you a few pointers, a few hints and tips about the sorts of things you might be able to try just to get your playing up to the next level, some practice hints. And I've called this making it stick. Here it is on the screen. Okay, so the idea is these ideas will hopefully help you to practice and learn a little bit more thoroughly. When we're practicing and learning a piece of music, we're actually doing two things. Of course, we are being the piano performer, but you also have to remember to kind of do a second role, a second person's job, which is to be a detective. Okay, what do I mean by be a detective? Well, essentially, it's where you are always listening to what you're playing. Now, that can be difficult if you're concentrating on reading the music and pressing the keys at the right time. We often forget to listen and check that what we're playing is right. So I have an idea for that, and if you have a digital piano like this one or a keyboard with a song recorder can really help you practice. Now, do you remember in our previous lesson, I used the song recorder to record one hand while I played the other. And of course, by using the two at the same time, I could hear the whole piece of music, even though I was only playing one hand live. The piano was playing the other part. You can use a song recorder when you're practicing too, and here's a little something I pre-prepared, and I'm going to show you exactly what I was playing earlier on. It was the right hand of the beginning of Jingle Bells. Okay, so this is the bit we started with. Have a listen to this. I'm going to press play on my digital piano. You'll hear the recording I did earlier. Tell me what you think. Okay, all right. Well, you probably heard there that the first couple of bars were fine, nice and energetic, a good tempo. But bar 3 and bar 4, things started to go a little bit wobbly, didn't they? And we had a few hesitations. So if I'd done that when I was practicing, I could immediately hear that it was bar 3 and bar 4 that I needed to look at. And once you've found that, you then have to think about the next guideline, the next rule. So we've been a detective. We've found the part of the music that we need to work on a bit more. Our next thing to do is to make sure we're playing slowly and securely. How slowly is slowly, you're asking? Well, the golden rule is you have to play the particular part of music that you're practicing. You have to play it slow enough for there to be no mistakes at all. So even thinking back to what I was just playing, bar 3 and bar 4, even if it has to be or perhaps a bit slower, it was that slow speed that made it possible for me to play it correctly. And you have to start at a speed where you can play correctly. So once you've worked out what speed you need to play at, what slow speed, the next thing you can do is something called the rule of 5. What's the rule of 5? Well, essentially it's where you set yourself a target. And the target is to play whatever section you need to play 5 times in a row correctly. Okay, no mistakes. If you make a mistake, you have to start again from try number 1. And to make this a little bit more entertaining when I'm practicing, I often do this. Okay, so I've got here with me today some sweets. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the left-hand side of the piano. There's 5 sweets here, and I'm going to play bar 3 and bar 4 of Jingle Bells like this. So I'm going to aim to go nice and slow. Okay, that was good. Let's put that over here on the left-hand side. Oh, on the right-hand side. Let's get that right. Okay, number 2. Okay, take the sweet from the left and put it on the right-hand side. And again. Oh, no. Okay, so a mistake there. What I have to do now, although I had 2 good tries, they've got to go back on the left-hand side. And I'll try again. And that is a really great way of ensuring that you play 5 times in a row. Of course, if you use sweets, the bonus is you get to eat the materials as well at the end of your practice session to celebrate. So the rule of 5 is a great thing to get used to doing, and it can really help. Sometimes it's a bit tricky, sometimes it's a bit frustrating if you get to number 4 and number 5 goes wrong, but stick with it because it will really help you. And then once you can get 5 in a row at a slow speed, then you can gradually go a bit faster. So maybe if I was playing about this speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe the next session, the next day I come to practice, I might do a little bit quicker. So I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and I try 5 times in a row at that speed. So it's a really great way, actually, of trying to work on small sections and getting your accuracy much, much better. And then, of course, once you've learnt it, you've then got to think about making a performance. And that sort of means thinking about what sort of character do you want to communicate when you're playing. Of course, Jingle Bells, we could say it's a fairly happy piece, isn't it? We've got to make sure that when we eventually learn it, we need to be able to play it, you know, like this. Let's move the sweets out. We can eat those later. We want to play it like this eventually. So it doesn't have to be that quick, but it does have to have a sense of confidence. It has to be fluent. I have to look relaxed when I'm playing the music. And looking relaxed is actually very, very important. If you think about other things in life, like, for example, if you get into a taxi cab, if the driver in the taxi cab is sort of gripping the wheel like this and shaking a little bit and he can't quite work out, you know, where the keys are to start the engine, you might not want to stay in that taxi cab. And it's the same when being a performer in music. You have to make sure that, as well as playing accurately, you play with a sense of relaxation. Essentially, you're communicating to the audience that um, things are okay. You know, you're going to give a assured performance, even if inside you're a bit nervous. Most of the time when I play, I'm very, very nervous. But actually, I try and look like I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's part of giving a performance, and that comes with experience. It also comes with making sure that whatever you're playing is thoroughly prepared. So I hope that's given you a few pointers, and it will help you to think about how to take Jingle Bells even further. We are going to do some more music today, and I thought what we could do, of course, is pick another festive piece and a piece of music which everybody knows. You actually did start it last lesson. We got to clap the rhythm. Do you remember this? We were looking at this particular music when we finished off lesson 2, and we talked about a few things here. We first of all had a look at the time signature here, and we said the time signature tells us that there are 3 beats in every bar. Obviously in the last bar here there are 3 beats, but there are 3 beats in every bar except the beginning one. And last lesson we explained that this, of course, was an upbeat. It's when the music starts on a weak beat, but then continues into a full 3 beats in the bar in this case. So we clapped that last lesson. What I want you to do for me now is to look at the whole piece. Okay, so we wish you a Merry Christmas. We are going to do the playing part of it. We are going to actually find the notes on the piano in a second, but we're going to look at the rhythm first. So whenever you learn anything, make sure you always look at the rhythm first, and once you've got a good grasp of that, then you look at the keys. So let's have a quick look through this. I think what I'm going to do is I'll clap it for you first, and then I'm going to ask you to join in on the second time through. Okay, so I'll take it fairly slowly, and it will go a little bit like this. You'll hear me count 2 beats to begin with. I shall say 1, 2, and I'll start clapping. And that's because at the beginning of the music here, this first beat, we actually call that beat number 3. Okay, so the first couple of beats we count and don't play anything. Okay, are you ready? Okay, this is how it goes. 1, 2, ta, ta, tay, 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 ta, 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 tay, 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 ta, 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 tay, 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 ta, ta, tay, tay, ta, 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 ah. Okay? Okay, now it's your turn. We'll do it a little bit slower, okay? And join in with me, okay? Here we go. After 2. Ready? 1, 2. Ta, ta, tay, 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 ta, 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 tay, 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 ta, 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 tay, 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 ta, ta, tay, tay, ta, 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 ah. Okay, well, I hope that made sense. We did go through all the different lengths of notes in previous lessons. So if you need a bit of a refresher on that, check out lesson 2 and of course lesson 1 as well. But that's the rhythm of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Now we're going to come back to that because we will need it. But what we need to do next is look at some new notes on the piano. So we're going to talk about notes in the right hand first of all. And so far we've really played from middle C, and we've gone C, D, E, F, G. Okay, that's as far as we've got. Now, what I want to do today is look at the next 2 notes above G. Here's G, and I want to have a look at A, and actually not our next one, the next white key, that would be B. I'm going to look at B flat. So we have A, and B flat. And on screen you can see that we've got 3 notes. The first note, the one here on the left hand side, you will know that one. It's G on the G line. Here it is. Then we go up a step to A. That's the second one. And then we go up to a black key, which is B flat, okay, which is that one, B flat. And you can see in red there, I've circled a new symbol. We haven't seen this before. It's a flat sign. And essentially what it means is that the note that it's on, the note that is the right-hand side of it, in this case, this one here, you should actually take that to the left to the black key. So we've got G, A, and not B, but B flat. Go from B, go left to the B flat key. Okay? So whenever you see a flat, take it to the left by 1/2 step. Here's B, and here is B flat. Okay? Got that? Good, because I have a little reading exercise for you next. Okay? Yep, there's the G line. And right, okay, so what I want you to do now for me, please, is have a look at those 2 bars of music and see if you can work out what they would do. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of seconds just to have a think about that, and then I'll show you what the answer is. Okay, well, we've got the first note there is G on the G line. Notice also that we have a 2 underneath the G, and that's a finger number. Okay, so that tells us that with our right hand, we're going to use finger 2 on the G, and our finger numbers do this. Thumb is number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we need finger 2 on G. That's the first note here. Okay. And after G, moving along, we go down a step to F. We go back up to G again. We go up a step to A. We go up to B flat. Can you see the flat sign there? Here it is. And then down a step to A. Here. And then down a step again to G. So they are the notes. And if I was going to play it with a sense of timing, it would sound like this from the beginning. It would go, ready, play. Okay, so notice how that last note should have been a bit longer. It was a 2-beat note. Okay, so they are new notes that we're going to use when we come to play We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Okay, so taking things a little bit higher than we did before. That's the right hand. We also have some for the left hand as well. Okay, so left hand, notice we've got here the F clef. And this first note here, you should remember, recognize maybe, I'm not sure actually. If we haven't done this before, then that note there is one you have played. You've played it with the right hand. So notice how it looks completely different here in the F clef. It's middle C, okay? So put your left hand thumb, please, on middle C. Now actually, can I change that? Sorry. Put your second finger on middle C. Second finger on middle C, because second finger on middle C, we need to go up. Can you see how that note there looks like it's going up a step? Okay, middle C was on the line. We're going to go up a step to D, and then we're going to go down to this note here. Now, okay, here's a familiar sign, of course, another flat sign. Let's ignore the middle note for a second. Let's compare middle C to this note here. How many steps lower is it? How many steps lower is it? Yeah, it's actually 1 step lower, isn't it? We have C going down to B, but it's going to not be the white key B, it's going to be B flat. So it's going to be here. So third finger on B flat. Okay, so just to recap then, the first note, middle C, second finger. We've got D with the thumb, and we've got B flat with our third finger, like that. Okay, so 3 new notes for the left hand, and yes, middle C is where it starts. Right, so speaking of which, here is a little exercise for you, this time in the F clef for the left hand. And again, look, we've got finger 2 on middle C. Okay, could you have a think about what you would do with that, please? Okay, so the answer is as follows. It's C, C, B flat, C, D, D, C. Okay, let's do it one more time. Are you ready? We're going to go back to the beginning here. Middle C. Ready? Go. C, C, B flat, C, D, D, C. There we go. Okay, so some new notes for the right hand and also now the left hand. One more bit of music theory that we haven't done before, and that is to say that sometimes music is actually silent. Okay, you don't have sound all the time. Okay, so for example, if I did something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, did you hear that beat number 3? I didn't do anything. So I have to find a way of showing musicians that I want them to counter beat but not do anything. And that's what we're going to look at right now with a rest. Okay, take a rest. And here you can see a symbol for a 1-beat rest. Okay, remember we called a 1-beat a crotchet rest. And I'll clap that rhythm for you, okay? And you'll notice that it's beat number 2 in this case, where there's a rest. So I count it and I don't play it. Okay, so we're going to do this. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's our rest. And you'll find quite a few rests in We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Speaking of which, it's now time, I think, to look at the proper music for it. Right, okay. So there it is. Now, don't worry if there's things in here that you're not certain about. I'm going to talk you through quite a bit of this. I'm not going to expect you to be able to play the whole thing after today. All we're going to do really is look at the top line of music along here, and we're going to stop at the end of the first line. So, again, we're going to look at rhythm first. Okay, we did clap it earlier on, but this time I want you to do something different for me. One of the things about this piece is that it's written to be played with both hands at the same time. So if you have a look, it starts here in the left hand, and then the left hand is empty for this next bar. And by the way, this means this is another rest. This is a whole bar of rest, so a whole bar of nothing. We start off with the left hand, but then we jump up to the right hand. Okay, we play this in the right hand. We've got a rest here. Look, here's a 1-beat rest. But in the left hand, we have to play something. Okay, here's our beat 2 in the left hand. Then we go to beat 3. It's with the right hand. So can you see how we start off here? We do beat 1 in the right hand, beat 2 in the left hand, and beat 3 in the right hand. Now, if I was going to clap just this bar, okay, or rather tap it on the piano, I can do this. I can go maybe right, left, right. Okay, I can tap on my knees. Okay, right, left, right. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to have a little go from the beginning, and we're going to tap all the way through like this. Okay, so I'm going to start off here on the left hand. Watch this. I'm going to go 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. And I got 2 here in the middle. Okay, Now, if you prefer, if we go back to the beginning, you could actually go ta, ta, te, 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 ta, ta, ta. That's absolutely fine. The important thing is that you're tapping with the proper hand at the right time, okay? So here we go. I'm going to first of all show you what to do. I'm going to clap the rhythm of the whole of the first line, okay? And I'm reading both lines. My eyes are going to follow the melody as I go, like this, okay? Watch this. Here we go. Ready, go. Ta, ta, te, 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 ta, 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 te, 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 ta, ta, ta. Okay? That's the first line. Okay? All right, now it's your turn. We're going to slow things down a bit, and can you do the same thing? So with your right hand, I want you to tap on your piano or on your knees with the right hand notes, and with your left hand, do the same for the left hand. Okay? We're going to begin, of course, here with the left hand. Are you ready? After 2, here we go. Ready, play. Ta, ta, ra, ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, good. One more time. This time I'll tell you which hand you should be tapping. Ready? 1, 2. Left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you followed that a little bit. All right. And again, you can rewind if you need a bit more practice. So that's the first job. Get the rhythm right first. Work out which hand is going to be used at the right point. Okay. Now we're going to have a quick look at the actual notes. Okay. Now it's best when you're learning something to learn it in phrases. So I'm going to start here from the beginning actually, and I'm going to work through till sort of halfway point there. Okay, just there. We're going to stop there. All right. Are you ready? So let's go to the beginning. Now, maybe what you might like to try is to try and work out the note before I tell you what it is. So the first one here, that was one of the new ones we looked at today. That's middle C with, can you see here a finger number? Finger 2. So we're going to do finger 2. There it is. Okay, so finger 2. And then we're going to go with the right hand. Next bar, we're going to play F, one below the G line. F with the third finger. F again, up to G, F, E, next bar, thumb on D, third finger on B. Look, there's a flat sign there. There we go. And then back to D. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so back to the beginning. Second finger on C, third finger on F. That's halfway. One more time. Okay. That was a bit fast just now. Sorry about that. Let's try that a little bit slower. Ready, go. C, F, F, G, F, E, D, B flat, D. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on. So we're now going to play from bar number 3. Okay. Starting there with finger 3 on, which note's this one here? Yeah, it's G on the G line, isn't it? Okay, G on the G line, finger 3. It's going to go like this. G, G, A, G, F. They're all step by step, aren't they? And then down one more step to E. Change to the left hand here. Finger 2. Back to the right hand here. Finger 1. Okay, all right, those 2 bars again, starting like this. Finger 3 on G, and then okay, so now I'm going to play you the whole of that first line with no talking, so you know what you're aiming for next time. Ready, play. Okay, so if you can try and work on that for our next lesson, we'll do the second half in our final lesson of the series. In actual fact, in lesson 4, we have another piece to do next time as well, so that'll be busy. But for now, good luck with the practicing, and I'll see you for lesson 4 next time.